Welcome to Storm Motors. In the early years of the 20th century, the world stood on the edge of a massive transformation. Until then, the automobile was considered a luxury item, a rare machine owned only by the wealthy elite. Most ordinary people relied on horse-drawn carriages or walked to reach their destinations. The concept of an affordable car that every family could own seemed almost impossible. But that vision became reality with the arrival of a single revolutionary machine, the Ford Model T. When Henry Ford introduced the Model T in 1908, it was not just another car. It was a symbol of progress, a machine that would redefine how people lived, traveled, and worked. Known affectionately as the Tin Lizzie, the Model T became the first automobile to be produced on a scale so massive that it changed the entire industrial world forever. The story of the Ford Model T begins with Henry Ford himself, a man who believed that cars should not only be for the rich, but for the everyday farmer, worker, and shopkeeper. His dream was to put America, and eventually the world, on wheels. The Model T was his masterpiece, a car designed for simplicity, durability, and most importantly, affordability. The first Model T rolled out of Ford's Piquette Avenue plant in Detroit on October 1, 1908. It featured a four-cylinder engine producing 20 horsepower, capable of reaching speeds of around 40 to 45 miles per hour. To modern drivers, that might sound slow, but for its time, it was more than enough to replace the horse. The car weighed about 1,200 pounds, had a two-speed transmission, and ran on gasoline. But what truly made the Model T stand out was not just its specifications. It was the way it was built. Henry Ford pioneered the moving assembly line, an innovation that allowed cars to be produced faster, cheaper, and more efficiently than ever before. Instead of a single craftsman spending weeks building a car by hand, workers on the assembly line each performed one small task, with the car moving steadily from one station to the next. This method cut production time dramatically. What once took more than 12 hours to assemble could now be completed in just 90 minutes. This efficiency led to an even greater achievement, affordability. In its early years, the Model T sold for about $825, already cheaper than many competitors. But as production scaled up, the price fell dramatically. By the mid-1920s, a brand new Model T could be purchased for as little as $260. For the first time in history, an average American worker could realistically save up and buy a car. This affordability transformed society. Suddenly, mobility was no longer limited to the wealthy. Farmers could drive their goods to town, families could take weekend trips, and workers could live farther from factories and still commute. The Model T gave birth to a new sense of freedom, where distances shrank and opportunities grew. Another reason for the Model T's success was its incredible durability. Roads in the early 1900s were rough, muddy, and often little more than dirt trails.